Born in 1921 in Connecticut, Harutun Krikor-Daghlian was an American physicist of Armenian descent who worked on the Manhattan Project, the research and development project that produced the first atomic bomb. He accidentally irradiated himself in August 1945 during experiments at the remote Site Omega facility in New Mexico. He died just 25 days later. Li Si was a famous jurist, calligrapher, and influential figure from the Qin dynasty in China, between 246 BC and 208 BC. Li Si is also credited with inventing a horrific torture method called the 5 pains. In this brutal method, the victim's forehead is branded first, and then their nose is cut off. After that, his legs were cut off, then the victim was castrated and finally executed. However, after the emperor's death, Li Si was instead executed by his own invention. Marie Curie, a Polish chemist and naturalized French citizen, is famous for her research on radioactivity and being the first woman to win not only 1 Nobel Prize, but 2. But it was the subject of his research that caused his death. He died on July 4, 1934, of aplastic anemia caused by radiation exposure. Alexander Bogdanov is a Russian doctor, philosopher, and science fiction writer. He is famous for his efforts to achieve eternal youth by experimenting with blood transfusions. Ultimately, it was the transfusion that caused him to lose his life. In 1928, he took the blood of a student suffering from malaria and tuberculosis. Bogdanov died after a transfusion. Born in 1879, William Nelson was an American engineer and inventor who worked for General Electric. A specialist in the field of automotive bicycles, Nelson suffered a fatal injury while testing a motorbike prototype whose motorbike he invented in 1903. He died at the age of 24 as a result of the accident. Born in 1933 into a Polish-American family in Ohio, Henry Smolinski was an engineer who joined a company focused on developing flying cars called Ave Mizar in California. September 1973, he conducted a test flight with a prototype created combining the rear of a Cessna Skymaster and Ford Pinto aircraft. However, he had an accident and died along with the pilot. Born in 1947 in the former Czechoslovakia, this Canadian professional stuntman is best known for crossing Niagara Falls in a special shock-absorbing barrel he created. A year later, in 1985, Soucek made another move. Enclosed in his barrel, he was dropped from 180 feet above the Houston Astrodome into a water tank, but instead of landing in the middle of the tank, the barrel hit the edge of the tank, and Soucek was seriously injured. He died several hours later.